Dumelang Absheni, Ralocha Salvanani Maleni. My name is Naledi Mfoloe, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to the latest edition of the African Diaspora News channel, where we unravel the stories that shape our world and our communities. Now, let's break this down for a moment. Now, Donald Trump recently offered refugee status to thousands of white South Africans, saying that they're victims of anti-white discrimination in South Africa. And it's safe to say that some South Africans are mocking this offer, but why? Right? Now, let's try to understand their perspective, shall we? Now, Trump's statement is rooted in an ideology that claims that white South Africans are being persecuted and are victims of a so-called white genocide that organizations like AfriForum have been pushing for years. Now, the statement of white genocide has been widely debunked, yet it continues to shape the discourse. Now, here's where it gets quite interesting. Many white South Africans, the ones mocking this idea, don't necessarily deny their privilege in South Africa. Instead, they're not even ignoring the fact that they've benefited from a system built on inequality for decades. Let's watch.
A day in my life as an oppressed white South African. I wake up in my shelter and my husband brings me coffee because it's too dangerous to go alone. Plus, I'm not allowed. I say good morning to my pet lion and then say goodbye to my man as he heads off to his dangerous job. I beg him to drive safely and I pray that he comes home today. I then need to wash, so I have a dip in our pool which is used for bathing and drinking as we have no running water. Then I sit down to apply for a job I'm not qualified for and cry when I don't get it. I notice our cupboards are absolutely bare, so I pick out some bulletproof armor so I can go gathering. I need to dress practically so I can defend our home from any land grabs. I hope I survive and that I can see you again tomorrow. A day in my life as an oppressed white South African. We went to visit a neighboring farm and I had to bathe in the reservoir as there's no running water for whites. The oppression was thick in the air at the farm. My husband felt so oppressed he died. I wanted to have a look at the farm, so I put on my bulletproof armor and got into one of the numerous armored vehicles to go and check it out. As you can see, things are very hard. It seems that some colonizers have already placed their flag here on the farm, which is very worrying. This part of the farm was taken in a land grab and you can see what they've done to it. I went to go and look for the endangered white rhino on the farm and I was so happy that one or two were still around. Then started raining oppressively, so I went back inside to apply for asylum. It's too late for my husband, but hopefully I'll make it through the night.
You see, this satire is quite brilliant, if you ask me, because for these individuals, the idea of being a victim or of discrimination in South Africa doesn't quite sit right. They know and they understand the privileges that they've enjoyed. Better access to education, healthcare, economic opportunities, because for them, the narrative of victimhood just doesn't add up when they've lived lives of comfort, while so many others have struggled under apartheid's legacy. So this brings us to a critical point, which is equality can often feel like oppression for the privileged, because when you've lived your life at the top of the social hierarchy, even small changes that aim to level the playing field can feel like a loss. Equality, for some, feels like a threat to the very comfort that they've grown accustomed to. So this is where the mocking comes in, right? It's not that these white South Africans don't understand the challenges of living in South Africa today, but rather that they recognize the privilege that still flows in their veins despite the country's history of inequality. Let's watch.
USA, USA, USA. Hey dude, what's up? I'm moving to the USA, bro. Okay, why? Because I just got refugee status, son. Okay, don't talk like that, okay? And why did you get refugee status? Because I'm white, bro. Isn't refugee status for people from war-torn countries or like people that just got nowhere else to go? Not me white, like Trump. There's literally thousands of people living in shacks today because of our history and also because of the current government's terrible efforts to take care of the most vulnerable. Do you think they can get refugee status? Are they white? No. Well, too bad. What Daddy Trump says goes. Isn't that racist? I don't know, dude. Ask Elon. Everyone knows he's the real president, huh? Did you check the Time magazine cover? Elon that worked in America as an illegal immigrant. Yeah, the guy that still greets you like this. No, don't do that. So you're moving for real? Yeah, dude, I'm just over this shit place, eh? But I'll see you in December in Plett, at the beach house. Also got tickets for all the Springbok games. And also it's Africa Burn. Those things are expensive, so you better be there with me. So wait, you're coming back? Well, duh, I have to come back, dude. I got my Hilux bucky here that I need to service. I'm also repainting the house in Harties. Got the golf tournament in Pinnacle Point. You think Cape Town Tennis is going to be fun without me? So wait, let me just get this straight. You don't have to be a victim of any kind to get this refugee status from Trump. No, dude, aren't you listening to me? You just have to be white.
But in the same breath, right, while the idea of white genocide is a false narrative, real issues like land redistribution, economic inequality, and access to basic resources still exist. The very same people who mock Trump's refugee offer are the ones who understand that the struggles of South Africans are rooted in the history of systemic oppression and not some far off fantasy of racial extinction. And in the end, I believe that the mocking comes from a place of frustration with the oversimplification of the complex issues that we're dealing with. Because it's a response to the idea that their reality as white South Africans can somehow be equated with persecution. Because let's face it, right? To those who've had to fight for equality, pretending that their privilege is an equivalent form of a suffering is quite insulting. So why are they mocking Trump's refugee offer? Because I think it's not out of disdain for others. It's a refusal to let the narrative of victimhood overshadow the real work that needs to be done in South Africa, which is a work that requires acknowledging privilege and facing the past and striving for a more equal future for everyone, and not just for those who feel threatened by the idea of equality. And I can respect people like that. What are your thoughts? Please, let's continue the conversation in the comment section. And while you at it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. That's it from me. Till we meet.